Buen dia from Zona Colonia. Right here behind me we have a statue of old Mr. Christopher Columbus. See if I can get it in range there without, yeah, and down below a indigenous Taino doing some scribbling for him. And right here behind me also is the first Catholic church in all of the Americas. So this is a UNESCO site as one of the still longest American longest establishment in the Americas that is still inhabited, as it was, you know, as you can see, there's still plenty of life going around here, school children and people going on. But yeah, first church in the Americas, originally founded on the other side of the Ozama River, but after a hurricane in the early 1500s, they switched it to over here. And it was the center of government for the longest time until Trujillo switched it in the 1950s, I believe. So we're gonna take a walk here through the Zona Colonia, kind of the main tourist spot in Santo Domingo. And from there we're gonna go see some other little markets and parts of the city before I head north to Cabarete and Puerto Plata, where I'll be living for about the next month or so, working at a hostel. So, but yeah, it's been a pretty rough last 24 hours. I've either spent the last 24 hours curled up in a fetal position in my bed or on the toilet. And I guess the moral of the story here is that you probably shouldn't eat Greek food in a Latin American country, especially a pork gyro, or as some people say, gyro. But yeah, so feeling a little better today. A little bit less weakness in the body, and definitely a little less fluid exiting the lower intestine side of my digestive system. But yeah, we'll take a walk here through that area we were just in with the Columbus statue. The church is kind of the main center, a bunch of restaurants, people trying to sell you stuff and get you to come eat at their restaurant. And just down here is kind of the front side of the fort, which now faces kind of one of the main ports of Santo Domingo, as we're about to see. But yeah, I mean, you definitely got the old European roads coming in through here, and it was a European settlement. Bartholomew Columbus, which was Christopher Columbus's younger brother, was really running the show here. I was actually surprised to see a statue of old Christopher Columbus here. I guess he's not as hated as much as he is in the Americas, even though these were the Taino, or the indigenous people he wiped out rather than actual Native Americans. But I guess he kind of started the snowball effect, or the chain effect, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, there's actually a huge monument. It's kind of on the other side of the river here, but there's actually a huge monument to him, surprisingly. So I'm surprised that, you know, they aren't trying to, I guess they're a little more proud of their history here. What can you do? As you can see behind me, some old military forts, and I believe these are all for cannons and lookouts. And we got the cargo ship over there. I believe it's a cargo ship. But yeah, I don't know how you get in there. I don't know if it's open. The grass looks, last year when I was here, this whole section was under construction. But yeah, as we're staying here at Island Life Hostel, Zona Colonia, which I'll show you all later, but definitely a great place to stay. I'm really enjoying it. Got an extra night tonight because I was going to go tomorrow. Well, I was going to go yesterday and you know, try to finish off showing you Santo Domingo, but the Greek food had other plans. But yeah, do not eat. I mean, it was good, but just not good the second day. Museum. Here's a museum for the fort. So we entered in the fort. Bought a ticket here for 100 pesos. Cash is king in this country, unless it's a bill over 500. People start freaking out. 500's like $8, and then 1,000's like 17, I believe, and then 2,000, which is their largest bill, is fucking, let me think, it's like $33. It changed a little bit since I was here last year. Last year the exchange rate was like 1 to 55 when I was here. Now it's 1 to 60. So like I was saying, the tax reforms, but yeah, it's kind of annoying that you can't use big bills, because I always get, like, it's hard to get small bills from the ATM here where I exchange my money. So, but yeah, we are here in the OG fort of Santo Domingo, where they defended against God knows who. Probably built by Taino slaves, along with that cathedral earlier. Here we got some of the old cannons, and you know, just old buildings. I would get a tour guide, but they're kind of, I mean, A, my Spanish isn't the best of the best. B, they always expect some extra money. Although here in this part of town, I mean, especially throughout the DR, you'll see a little necklace. And that means they're a certified tourism agent, and you worry about those guys ripping you off a little less. You can, yeah, old cannons. You can report them to the tourism police or whoever, you know, and you know, if they take money from you, you just make sure you get their name tag and they'll get it all sorted out. I've heard pretty good stories about the tourist police helping out, especially from police who take passports and IDs and, you know, are just being overall dicks. But yeah, old cannons. Not really sure what they were firing out towards here. You see, you got some more old fort walls. That's the Avenida George Washington, the main beach highway, and you know, got La Bandera flying high up there on the tower. But yeah, $1.30 to enter this. El Fuerte de Santiago y las defensas del puerto. Yeah, so this is where they defended the port from. Let's find out from who real quick. Any enemy. Huh. Yes, for a really long time, this was Spain's main port into the New World, until they started conquering the rest of, you know, still they started getting their hands in Mexico and Peru and the rest of South America, and even the south side of the Americas. This was kind of point A for them, and eventually they moved on, and kind of some stayed and intermingled with the Taino, and you know, you got the Afro-Caribbean slaves. That's why you kind of got these so many different looks when you're down here in the DR from the locals. You know, one will be real black and one will look like he's right from Spain. So yeah, you got 3 different bloodlines running through these people down here. But yeah, big old fashion fort right there. A lot of this stuff was built in the 1600s. It's since been restored slightly, you know, not completely, but yeah, you got a lot of really old stuff in this part of town that you're not gonna see elsewhere. Let's see if I can walk up this. Looks like she just came down from there. Yeah, Spain, Europe's first city, but yeah, Spain originally. Main settlement here. Oh, there's a little inside museum. You can go on in here. Inspirational music. Not really gonna waste my time. Inspirational music in there. So at the top here, as you can see behind me, you can see where the Ozama meets the South Caribbean Sea. That's the river right in front of us. It leads right out directly into the ocean. But yeah, mainly, oh, there's a lighthouse out there. I love lighthouses. But yeah, beautiful views from up here. The Ozama meets with the River Isabel in the north part of town, and they flow out here into the Caribbean Sea. So, but yeah, this is where the Spanish were defending their newly found colony for many, many years. But yeah, definitely a pretty view from up here. Yeah, this whole area was closed when I was here last year, 2020. Breeze is really helping beat the Caribbean heat today, because it gets freaking brutal up here. Yeah, we'll head back down, head more into the city. See if there's one last little plaza that's pretty cool that you can overlook the ocean from, but for the most part, a lot of it's all kind of just tourist stuff. And here behind me, I believe we have basically the government center, until our boy Trujillo switched it over to where it's now on the western side of Santo Domingo by Plaza de la Bandera and the other kind of centers like that. But yeah, this is kind of the gracias. Selling Larimar, I believe. I forget how to say it, but it's a blue sign. I actually got some on like this, but it's a rock that's only found in the Barahona region of the Dominican Republic, and we're pretty far from Barahona, so I'd go out on a limb and say it's probably not real. I had a friend buy me this one in Barahona, so maybe a little real. They said by the blemishes on the back that it's real, but you never know. But yeah, we got some more cannons and better view of the Ozama River. And so that side is where the Zona Colonia originally was, set up by Bartholomew Columbus, till it was destroyed in a pretty bad hurricane and moved to this side of the river, the western side, for better protection against storms and just other, better environmental protection. But yeah, we kind of got the last plaza down here we're gonna walk through before we head on up into the actual Santo Domingo. Like I said, this is kind of the more touristy spot, so walking around with the camera here, you don't get too many odd looks, but definitely some stuff. Yeah, very beautiful. I mean, like I said, cobblestone streets and everything. So. But yeah, there's always some field trip going on here, no matter how hard, what day it is. It seems like I can't figure out the school schedule here. It's definitely very odd. Seems like here we got a statue of the first governor of the Isla Española, which I guess I've always known as Hispaniola, but maybe they changed the name. Maybe it's one of the Columbus family members over here. Some Americans. Fray Nicholas, holy down. But yeah, I was very surprised by the Columbus statue here. Given that in America we no longer even really celebrate Columbus Day. It's now Indigenous Peoples Day. I wonder if they celebrate Columbus Day down here. I doubt it. Seems like today's Halloween actually, so October 31st. Man, they're already getting ready for Christmas here. They don't really celebrate Halloween too much here. Devil holiday. But yeah, still very surprised about the Columbus lore here. I believe he originally set up his first settlement in Haiti, if I'm not mistaken, and then soon that didn't last long and came over here, and eventually the French settled in what we now know as Haiti, but we'll get into that later. Hopefully we can make it over to Dajabon, that part of the island, or it's a little risque over there, but we'll find out. But yeah, kind of on the outsides of the zone now. So we're gonna walk up into the town here and see what's up. Yeah, man. Also, a shout out to this place right here, Museum of Rum. Cool museum on how rum works, and then the other side turns into a bachata bar at like 6 p.m. and then goes till about 3 a.m. Maybe I'll see if I can, I mean, what's today? Today's Thursday, so there might be some action there tonight, but I went there last weekend and I was definitely one of the coolest bars I've been in this country and a lot of the world. It's cool that you get a museum and a bar in one place. In classic Caribbean fashion, here we have some Fidel Castro propaganda. Cuba Libre, and I ain't talking about a rum and coke. But yeah, keep on walking here. There's a interesting little part of town right here up the road that surprised me a lot, but what's a big city without one of these? So we'll go check out this part of town and then head to the main market. As I was saying, the interesting part of town here is, in fact, Chinatown. It's always very, catches you off guard, to say the least, when you see a Chinese person here speaking fluent Spanish with a Dominican accent. Kind of makes you say, wowzers. Yeah, there's a Chinese district here in Santo Domingo, right outside on the outskirts of Zona Colonia. But why? Well, I saw last year in the downtown, there's Chinese restaurants kind of scattered randomly all over town, but here you just got the full-on, like, you don't see it as much. Around the corner over there, there's a Chinese church, and then up here we got some Chinese art. There's a store in Barcelona called Super Chinalandia. So, yeah, there's a stronger presence of Asian folk around here than you'd expect here in the Dominican Republic. So here we got some sort of monk. And on the other side of the street, we got some more. See, it's Chinese artwork up there, and classic Chinese guy, and over there we got some sort of dragon soldier. We still got the cobblestone streets, interestingly enough. Yes, I'm confused as to why this is here. Yeah, even here you see a, not hanging, they were hanging a little better on the next one, but Chinese and Dominican flags. So yeah, interesting. Caribbean's got an interesting history when you really dive down into it. Yeah. Got another one of the, I forget what these are called. It's very San Francisco-esque though in this part of town. Definitely reminds you of Chinatown, San Francisco. Yeah, another one of these temple overhangs over here. In the middle of Latin America. The Dominican Republic more so, not really. Kind of on the outskirts of Latin America over here. But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff. Walking around with a camera and that guy wasn't too happy about it. Yeah. What else? A little bit nicer. Yeah, we'll put the camera back and see if I can get a Moto Uber into the main part of town. Bueno. Como un video. Bueno. Heading to the main market now. Through town. Hopefully the main market. One of my friends told me it was the main market. He wasn't too sure when I said market, so we'll see as we go through. Let's see. Stop sign in Spanish and Chinese. It got a little more ghetto as we walk north here. I think we're going to be seeing more of that as we go up through town here. So my battery died about halfway through that taxi ride, but dropped us off here in Mercado Paris, Paris Market. So it's kind of the main center. He said, "Cuidado, mucho ladrones." So, middle of the day, so police won't do much to help you in this country though, so you gotta keep an eye out. Especially when you're walking around holding $600 in your hand. Selling something. Yeah. Close, close, close.
Dale colchón 95, 4 por 500, 95, 95, 95.
And even the mannequins are sexy in this country. Yeah, let's see if I can. Sidewalk's pretty crowded. I doubt the main road's any safer. But yeah. Maybe I'll get something. It seems like more clothes than anything. Probably a little bit safer out here in the street than it is on the sidewalk. But yeah, we used to have one of these in my hometown of Ventura. We called it the swap meet. It's basically like this, but a bunch of Mexicans. Yeah, you got the cafeterias. So we're heading back out to Mercado Paris. Had to go home, get another SD card, and a little bit more diarrhea, but nothing too serious compared to what it's been from food poisoning I've been dealing with. Got the American flag jacket on this guy. So, yeah, heading back into town. Hopefully gonna not get soaked by this rain like we did yesterday. So yeah, resume when we get there. But yeah, heading back out. Hopefully get some content without the battery dying or the SD card getting filled up. So yeah, it's already raining a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. So we made it back to the main market. It's starting to rain, so I'm hanging out here under the highway. Maybe we'll get a good look around here. Good thing I got to run to the bathroom at my hostel real quick, because I'd hate to have to name this video American Shits His Pants in Dominican Hood. But looks like we're gonna be alright.
1.25, pensaba en la boche a 1.25, se van con el poloche a 1.25, 4 por 500, dale poloche a 95, 4 por 500, chaqueta,
So, sure enough, we got rained out pretty hard, so had a Pomado right now, having a Presidente light before we see if this rain clears out and go back into the market. But yeah, it doesn't look as bad as it was yesterday. I mean, yesterday it was fucking pouring, but we just have this beer and hopefully get back to it in a little bit. Yeah, I'm on. It seems as if the rain has cleared up, so head back into town. ¿Tú tomas eso o la basura afuera? Bueno, gracias. All right. Back to the market. A little bit outside of the market. So I've walked back into town. Oh, the looks. This is like the bus station, because this one goes to San Juan, which is a good 2 hours from here, so this must be the main bus station. But yeah, heading back towards the market. See what's happening over there. Another San Juan bus. Well, they all go to San Juan. Which is over by Azua. Kind of if you're heading to Barahona, it's basically the last big town outside, good 45 minutes. Yeah. All right. Vive cientos, girl. Looking out for the ladrones, as the Moto Uber that dropped me off here the first time told me to be careful for, especially walking around with a camera. Need employee. I should go back and take a picture of that sign, but it said need employees, only Dominicans. So like I said, the Haitians aren't too loved in any part of the country. Maybe closer along the border. Rain's clearing up. I don't think most of these people would walk around with a camera like this. Buen día. We got still a lot of Chinese in this part of town. Selling socks. I could use some socks. I only got 4 pairs. But eventually soon I'll be living with a laundromat. For the time being, my feet are getting a little rashed up with all this stuff. Like I said, even the mannequins are sexy. Even the mannequins. Perdón. Shirt flew down in the wind. I stepped right on it. Good thing they didn't charge me for it. I'm sure she was glad I picked it up. People are either really friendly to a camera or act like you might be part of the DEA. It's hard to tell. I walked by a store earlier and there was 5 hot girls dancing in front of it. I'm trying to find it again. I don't think I'm in the right part of town. We might be getting closer. Oh, the looks, the looks, the looks. Jesus Christ. If you ever need to buy a toothbrush, they seem to sell them at every corner here. Aguacate and plantains.
100 pesos, a 100 pesos.
People love to announce the price of their items loudly. So yeah. Got it. And then you got security guns, straight shotguns now. Yeah. Definitely don't see any other whiteys hanging out in this park. Why not? Yeah, they're tripping. They keep this stuff. They're pretty used to the rain, I'm sure. Yeah. People walking around the town with dollies and cameras. And buenas. Yeah, it's like you walk over all these overhangs and I don't feel in that much danger here. Definitely don't have many white people here. I can't tell if it's because I'm white or it's because I have a camera. Probably a good mix of both, to be honest. Walk on this side of the road. But yeah, I mean, all just clothes. Style here is not me, as you can tell. I'm wearing a Subaru shirt. Been to America, Rustler jeans, which are Walmart jeans, and these Vans. So, buenas. Like I said, the mannequins are sexy in this country. They ain't no Macy's mannequins, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, you walk into a clothing store and there's a guy with a shotgun right at the front. I'd like to take a video of them, but you never know if they might click it back and try to scare you a little bit. No stranger to firearms after living in America for 23 years, but yeah. Kind of hustling through this market. But you can buy anything here. Phone cases, power cords. Pharmaceutical stand by the looks of it. And I think I'm getting too far. Don't want to walk down the same side street. That guy on the ladder is their security camera. I see that a lot where someone just sits on top of a ladder and watches the whole store, so whatever works. Looks like we've gotten to the section of the market of book sales. Libreria. Yeah, all books. Some seem like actual reading books and some seem like textbooks, but not to be a hater, but funnier enough, this is the slowest part of the market. Oh, now we're here in a little parqueo. What is the Spanish word for parque? yeah. Someone offered to shine my shoes, and I said, "Sir, these are Vans." Seems common for the kids. And I didn't get too good of a job, but it seemed like the Dominicans got all the street side stalls, and then the people just sitting on the sidewalk were Haitian by the accent. I'm sure some Haitians have stalls, but for the most part, yeah, there's definitely not a first come, first served basis. It's more ethnicity, and I've heard that's going to be the case when we go to Dajabon and the European Union market over there, where they allow the Haitians to come in from the country to sell. That they most of the time don't get the best spot. So yeah, let's head to the other market and hit the teleférico. My taxi driver seems slightly concerned for my safety, and I don't blame him, because the last time I was here, this is a teleférico station, so this is safe haven, but the last time I was here, I asked our taxi driver, because I accidentally put in the wrong location, if he was scared driving in this neighborhood, and he said, you know, I don't know who to trust more, the police or the people that live here. So we're gonna go for a little stroll, and you can really see the ghetto from the teleférico, because you know they're not putting these stations in nice neighborhoods. So yeah, away we go. He said last words were con Dios, and I said the same, so let's get it. So we've gotten off here at the last teleférico station. In classic Dominican fashion, bachata music blasting. And we're walking around. It's not as dangerous here as it is the first two stations, from what I've heard, but for the most part, for the most part, it's definitely suburbia kind of out here, away from the city, but close enough to work in it. Oh, Jimmy had one the other day. Wasn't too big of a fan, but it's like a pulled pork, but instead of barbecue sauce, it's ketchup and mayonnaise. But yeah, sure enough. Oh, they got one of these barber shops here. It's not open, but here in the, I'm sure it's like a late night thing, but just want to show you this real quick. Adios. The street's a little crowded. But sexy women at the barber shop. So, as it looks, I mean, I'm not one for haircuts, so yeah, we'll just keep walking. So as you can see behind me, we have a camera. Good angle. The vendors, and I believe that's manzana de oro they're holding on their head. Interesting fruit, if you've ever had it. You put some salt on it and eat it. That's pretty good. I was looking for frituras, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna find any. So yeah, we're just kind of walking around seeing it. Walked into a little bit of a hood. I got like half a battery. Let me look. Anyways, yeah, kind of just walking around. This is along a main street here, so gonna be a little bit safer, but for the most part, everyone's kind of just getting off work, so it's about to get real crowded up in here in the city. So kind of want to show you around the first metro stop. So we're not going to spend too long here. I had one place that I asked for some food, but they said come back in 30 minutes. I'm like, what the hell, man? It's like 4:30. What do you mean you're not open? But that's how a lot of places roll around here. Now, that 5 to 11 action, so works good when you're drinking, though. We'll say that. They have good food for late nights. The part of America I live in, it's like every fucking restaurant closes at 9 o'clock, but here, they're open. Yeah, we're gonna go see if we can find some frituras. Just tostones and salami with the sauce, I believe it's pronounced wasakaka. Wakaka. I'm butchering it, but if not, we'll have to save that for another day. It's definitely not the same, but it's a big fan of Miller Lite. It's cool to see a Miller Genuine Draft in this country. Good taste of home while you're away. So, wait for this stand to open up. It said 30 minutes, 10 minutes ago, so. Yeah. Me gusta Miller Lite. Well, Miller Draft now, I guess. Not the same, but close enough. Although Presidente Light's kind of close, too. Damn, I miss my domestic beers. Let's go over and make ultra in this country. It's so hot. So we got our Dominican lunch here. I guess dinner, kind of pre-dinner meal, but yuca, semi-fried chicken, peach juice, and light beer. So we're gonna dig in and head on back to the main part of town. So it's one bite, everyone knows the rules. Wow. Pretty good stuff. I'm not a big chicken fan, but yeah, man. All right. On the chicken scale, I give it an 8 out of 10. Pretty good stuff. So. I really like yuca too. I don't know how to describe it. I've never seen it in America. Come eat it. Super chimi light. Huesada. Flavorful, hygienic, and I'm not sure what calidad means, but yeah, man. Good stuff here in Santo Domingo, Este. This is the start to my petition to get PETA out here in the Caribbean to fix the street dog crisis. As you can see, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. Give homeboy a little bit of food. Hopefully he eats it. If not, I guess. It doesn't look like he wants it, but hopefully he eats it. So we are off back towards the city center of Santo Domingo, heading towards Zona Colonia. Looks like we got some rain coming in from the west and clear skies on the east. But we're gonna hopefully make it back. I can show you some of the, this isn't even the bad part of town. What I was just in, basically. I was a little closer to Teleferico, but yeah, it's gonna get a lot worse. So hopefully I'll be able to document a little bit of that, show you what it's like, and from above. I'm not crazy, but gotta get used to it if I want to do this stuff, I guess. So yeah, we're heading closer. It'll be a while. It's like a 15-minute ride. So. But you have beautiful city views. You can't really see the city because of the fog, but that would be the city over there, and more city over there. But yeah, heading back into Zona. Probably gonna start wrapping up for the day. 5 beers, some fried chicken, and yuca probably wasn't the best post-food poisoning meal, but I don't feel too terrible. Finishing that last 32 ouncer was pretty fucking hard though. I don't leave my beers unfinished, but I thought about it there for a second. I don't know if you can hear it, but it gets lively over. Everyone's getting off work, so no one really heads back into the city for work, though. Most part, the cars are crowded going up this way. But we'll see here as we go along. And speaking of that meal I just had, it costed it was 150 pesos for just the chicken and yuca and onion, so that's $2.50, and then the beer and the peach juice was about another $3 or so. Beer's gotten kind of expensive in this country since the last time I've been here. I mean, you used to be able to find a Presidente Grande for $1.75 everywhere, but now you're lucky if you find one under 200 pesos. And 200 pesos is just above like $3. Yeah, 180 is $3 right now, so $3 and some change. But yeah, $6 for all that, definitely a killer deal. Nothing you'd find in America. Thank God for Caribbean economics. Below we got the neighborhood cows and goats that roam the streets, I suppose. I don't know if you can see through the rainy window, but. And then I always find this next house very funny. So I can stand up to get a better view of it. But kind of in the middle of the hood here, we have a placina. I don't know if it looks like you might pay to get in, but yeah, just drop dead in the middle of the hood. I mean, you got this, and a pool table. Awesome. 2 placinas. If you're into that, so maybe a good stop. Maybe on one of my trips back to Santo Domingo, I'll try to find this place. But we're about to cross the Rio Isabel, I believe, the first river that later connects with the Ozama. Definitely seen its better day. So yeah, gotta figure out the lighting on this camera. I get too, yeah, there we go. Anyway, fuck. I bought the ZVF one, I think. It's a little too, fuck, there it goes again, but a little too overcomplicated for me. I thought it'd be a little more just press play and film, but you know, people want to look a certain way on camera nowadays, so there's so many settings on here, I don't know what to fucking do with myself. It's difficult, but yeah. Definitely you got the OG Santo Domingo before the industrialization. Maybe this is what it would have looked like. Maybe they're all invasive species. As you can see here to the left of us, or the right of us, we have a open water sewage plant. Awesome. And we're going over, it seems to be the most ghetto area of Santo Domingo Este. We get deeper in the slums over here. I'll turn back the camera so you can really see maybe some above ground footage of what it's like. Hopefully the rain isn't fogging up the windows too much. As you can see in this part of the city, not only do we have an open garbage dump right over there, but try to keep an eye on the street down below, but it is just a straight river.